Hi, I'm here with Pete the cat, and we're going to go back over how we use Pete the cat to teach transitions. Okay, so in our last video, we talked about the book, Pete the Cat, I Love My White Shoes, and we introduced the concepts in the story. So if you haven't seen that video, definitely check that out on my channel. And I talked about making a very easy calendar. So I had a PDF attached to that video of a calendar, just very simple. But let me talk to you a little bit about how simple it is. So this is just a 4-day calendar. It's a piece of paper that I had in my office and dining room. And I used words and pictures. If your kiddo is more of a picture kid, then use more pictures. It doesn't have to be fancy. So I made a calendar of what we're doing. If your child spends any time at school, he's using calendars or she's using calendars at school. Teachers are using schedules. It's one of the best practices in autism intervention. As an early interventionist, I used different kinds of scheduling systems, even if they're simple 1, 2, 3, or first we're going to do this and then we're going to do this. So this is just an example of introducing Pete the cat and using Pete the cat as a character and the story to connect with your kiddo, right? So here I have a calendar, and the way to integrate this into your life is if you're finished with a meal, this is something you could do before bed, when your kid's in the bath, an activity that's relaxed and part of a routine, okay? So just an introduction or a review of what we talked about, Monday, you can do an activity using YouTube and the book so that your child's focusing on the media. Tuesday, you're using YouTube and the book again. You know, we're catching up with the stuff we missed the first day. Maybe you're leaving things blank. You might say, then Pete the cat stepped in. If your child's in school, he may be familiar with this story anyway. Wednesday, you would maybe introduce the food related to Pete the cat, maybe eat some strawberries, touch some strawberries, see the strawberries on your plate. Thursday, you might talk about colors in the story of Pete the cat. I talked about how you can discuss clothing, vocabulary. You can make visuals to go with those or ask for them from your teachers or therapist. Sometimes I'm going to talk about lesson picks another day, but there are visual systems out there and products you can buy that have all that stuff together anyway. So just a simple way to use a calendar. I use calendars all the time in my classroom. I like using paper and I like using virtual calendars. And so what you want to do while you're teaching calendars is teach concepts, numeration, names of numbers. You can teach colors, you can teach patterning. So to recap, teaching calendar skills is important because it teaches us how to understand what's expected and unexpected, what's coming and what's not coming. If you didn't understand what was happening in your day, you were in the middle of doing something you really like, and then people came and made you go places you didn't want to go, it took a really long time, you were hungry, thirsty, whatever. You know, if you don't know what to expect, we don't like that. We are uncomfortable when that happens. So we can teach how to be more comfortable. So one of the things you need to start with is counting. Our kids usually love counting and letters and numbers and shapes, months of the year, days of the week. Great songs on YouTube, great songs on iTunes or wherever you get your multimedia. You'll have access to those kinds of things. And if your child goes to school, they're using those kinds of things too. The other thing I have here, let's see if I can play with my camera a little bit. Okay, this is just a calendar. It's just a calendar. So in my classroom, I have calendars in big giant paper form, and then we also use one on starfall.com. And that's a really neat way. The Starfall one's really neat because you can practice numeration. You can take a date out of the calendar, and then kids can pop the date back in and you can print that out and kids can work on that. They're learning once of the year. And calendars, for a lot of reasons, have a lot of math. You can teach a lot of math stuff. But anyway, on the calendars that I have at school, we explain what days kids are at school, what day kids aren't at school, what's the first day of school, what we have going on for specials, things that are for lunch. So there's this orientation to the day every day. Every day we talk about what's coming that day, what's coming the next day, what's happening that's important. And then throughout the day we have a visual schedule and we go through what we've done, what's coming up next, what we've completed. And we also teach change using the schedule. So if you are using a simple calendar to help yourself connect with your kiddo, then you can use a daily calendar to connect with your kiddo about things that are happening in your life, in your family's life. So most families have a big calendar central to the family, whether it's on the computer and everybody inputs information onto that calendar, or whether it's on the refrigerator. What you might want to do is start making it child friendly and really actually looking at it with your student. So it's summer. Pete the cat is going to go to the beach in our next video. Pete the cat has white shoes and unexpected things happen to his white shoes. Setting up transitions and discussing how transitions are going to happen. I've talked about summer all summer long with my class. I explain we have June in summer camp with Miss Perlow. We have July in summer camp with Miss Perlow. These are the days we're going to be in camp. Camp's going to finish. You're going to go home for a lot of days. August comes. You're going to have new teachers. And I do that all with the pictures. Copies of that are going to be linked below so you can see what that looks like. You can see what different calendars are out there that you can use with your child and for your home. And I'll have copies of PDFs to use with the stories. So the next story that we're going to review in our next video is Pete the Cat Goes to the Beach. And after Pete the Cat goes to the beach, it's time to get ready for school, because summer is almost over. August is coming. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I am always excited to work